Things aren't going swimmingly. We pick up the day after the Godzilla attack, which is a shame. Godzilla just used his heat ray on humans for the first time in this universe and is clearly getting off on it. Why would we want this to continue into a classic rampage scene, when we can just show glimpses of it on a smaller screen in the background? Listen, assholes. End the trend here. Stop putting the action on screens in the background. Fuck the style, fuck the budget. Next time you want to give me action, give it to me. I understand, it's cheaper to show us 5 minutes of a guy babbling about GMOs and transceivers, but can you give us more than 60 seconds of Godzilla? Yep, 60 seconds. And 25 of those are the vagina mouth shot. At least the sea battle isn't too far off. But before we move on, I can't help but feel like we missed a good opportunity here for both plot and character development. This Godzilla attack scene ends way too suddenly, and it leaves me with way too many questions. So let's talk about what I assume is Mechagodzilla's eye. The plot implies it is something about this eye that is drawing Godzilla. So why does Mechagodzilla's eye make noise? It must have been designed to be able to, and based on the fact that we just saw Serizawa and Simmons leave, we know it's operating on its own, which is an interesting point we'll come back to later. I mean, is it even connected to Ghidorah right now? Isn't Ghidorah in Hong Kong? So is it designed to auto-lure Godzilla even when it isn't plugged into its operator? And if it is auto-luring Godzilla, then this attack scene wasn't over. Godzilla just opened up the building the eye was housed in. He can see it clear as day. Did he destroy it before he left? Did anyone see him focusing all that attention on the Apex building? I mean, even the news reports refer to it as the Apex Cybernetics attack. I mean, come on, dude. We call him our Titan savior, and trusted his instinctual aggression towards threats until this? You know, Titans have existed in this universe for 7 years now. Information about them and studies of their behavior are probably all the rage. I bet even schools teach about him. Oh look, a poster on the wall proving my point. What I'm trying to say is that this whole situation is conspicuously suspicious, and I feel like the reason we cut this scene short was because the writers didn't know how to cover their own bases. Godzilla, Titan savior of the planet, suddenly and uncharacteristically returned from his 3-year absence to attack an Illuminati cybernetics lab. And the world just goes, well I guess he's bad now. The end. Even Mark just says fuck him.
Creatures like people can change. So cut your pop some slack, would you?
Really, Mark? People change? You changed from asshole to believer in the last film, and I guess you're changing back to an asshole again. Thanks for the consistent writing, fellas. Bang up job. Alright. Here's a few changes I'd make to give this movie some flavor. I would have had Bernie's love interest, Sarah, work with him at Apex at the same low security level he's at. Despite his other coworkers treating him like a weirdo, she can be the one person who accepts him for who he is. He may even be about to ask her out when Godzilla attacks. As Godzilla battles the military outside, Bernie and Sarah decide to hide in the sturdier sublevels of the building. That's when Godzilla's heat beam cuts through the wall and kills Sarah. From the rubble, Bernie sees Mechagodzilla's eye. Godzilla then comes towards it, picks it up and crushes it in his hand, then lets out his victory screech. Bernie then passes out as Godzilla returns to the ocean. This scenario would leave Bernie conflicted on Godzilla and drive him to seek answers. It'd be easy enough to just blame Godzilla for his girl's death like Mark did for his son. However, Bernie is a guy who looks below the surface, and seeing Godzilla go for Mechagodzilla's eye clues him into something deeper at work. Also, if Godzilla was being intentionally provoked into attacking, that would make Serizawa and Simmons directly responsible for Sarah's death. Wouldn't that be a way more interesting dynamic between our heroes and our villain instead of, well, nothing? Also, this would make Bernie the third character in this film to have a loved one's death caused by Godzilla. This could have been the main idea of the movie. On the one hand, you have Bernie and Maddie, who have lost loved ones to Godzilla but still believe he has a purpose at his core. And on the other hand, you have Ren Serizawa, who could be seeking revenge against Godzilla after the other Serizawa died reviving him. Maybe he feels Ashiro Serizawa's death was in vain, and only served to revive what Ren Serizawa considers to be mankind's greatest threat. These two ideologies in conflict should have been the backbone of this film, considering how this movie's literally about mankind trying to take the throne from Godzilla. Isn't there some theme or message we can make out of all this? You added all the pieces for it. Nah, I guess we can settle for an unmotivated prize fight nestled in a bed of filibustered plot. It's too bad, because I wanted to like this fight against the military. At first, I didn't want to come down on it too hard, because it felt like the writers were finally understanding how to do Godzilla, like a child learning to walk. I didn't want to slap them around for stumbling on their first steps, even though by now they should be running fucking marathons. But thinking back on all that could have been done with this opening scene, it's hard not to feel disappointed. Maybe we'll get something in that director's cut people keep fantasizing about. Then again... Anyway, let's move on to Maddie. So Godzilla attacked Pensacola, Florida, and she happens to live in Tallahassee. Let me get this straight. After surviving the attack on her hometown of San Francisco, and the attack on her hometown of Boston, Godzilla winds up attacking a third time, a hop and a skip from her hometown of Tallahassee. How astronomically fucking convenient that she's always nearby all these major plot events. Does she have a Mechagodzilla eye on a keychain or something? Now she's in class watching reports of the monster attacks that just occurred a few hours down the coast. Why the fuck is there school the next day? And for what? To sit there and watch TV, looking at all the reasons you shouldn't be there? Well, who gives a shit, I guess. Just look at this dude behind Maddie. Is this boring you, son? It sure is me. You know, this whole scene is another missed opportunity for character development. Maddie is defined by her baseless affinity for Godzilla. Well, here she is, in a classroom of her peers just after a Godzilla attack. I'm sure opinions are flying on what should be done with Godzilla. Maybe she could even engage in a dialogue defending him, and other kids could chastise her for it. Maybe they even question why she's so loyal to the monster who killed her brother and most likely melted her mother like Sarah Connor. That's what I've been wondering. Maybe she is herself. Maybe we could get a moment where she opens up and admits that she has to believe Godzilla is more than an engine of destruction, because otherwise her family's deaths would be meaningless. Can her character please have some substance? Can anybody? Nah, she'll just be an audience surrogate, hollow as the earth itself, no matter how Millie Bobby Brown tries to sell this character.
It's definitely a coming-of-age story for her, learning how to become a woman and following her mother's footsteps, but in the right way, and as if like,
Honestly, I don't get why people like Maddie. Despite her character having no real reason to love Godzilla, she pretty much sat out most of the last movie, and in this one she recklessly charges into a dangerous situation, dragging her friend with her, then just stands back and waits for the movie to end. I don't see what there is to latch onto. Even as an actress, it's pretty clear she doesn't understand the appeal behind Godzilla.
But also Godzilla has a lot of feminine qualities, which I kind of love. Like, he does. No. Throughout the movie, I was like, wow, that kind of, is Godzilla a woman?
Yeah.
It was really
Hashtag
appealing to
1998.
be part of like a
Anyway, Maddie here happens to listen to Bernie's podcast, and seems to treat his words as gospel. We'll check back on that later in the film. But right now, I need to talk about this filter. Ugh, lose it. It's like they're trying to trick my brain into feeling drunk so I stop thinking about the little details. They obviously don't know who they're dealing with.
Thanks. I needed that.
Booze or not, this next scene is difficult for me to process, so bear with me. So we cut to a college in Pennsylvania, where we meet one of our main characters. His expertise are necessary for the plot. Alright, audience, what's this character's name? What is the name of the top-billed character in this movie? Fuck it, man, I don't even remember. Well, his brother played Pennywise, so I'll just call him the Clown. Anyway, the Clown's chilling in his office when Count Illuminati appears on his couch. Instead of this setting off alarm bells, the Clown decides to participate in his circus of a plan by proposing a new main attraction. Now, this plan is what confuses me. We're essentially talking about the plot of the movie here, but I can never pay attention throughout this whole conversation. It's a lot of mumbo-jumbo and gobbledygook, and when they pull up this hologram, all I can think of is that scene with the map from Treasure Planet. I loved that movie as a kid, especially when they go to Montresor Spaceport. Wait, wait.
What just happened?
I missed the entire scene again. Damn. You know what? I'll tackle this scene next time. I've got a date with Treasure Planet.